The DNR Field Desk project is a fun project that is easy to build. Our project had two objectives: give 7 neighborhood kids an introduction to woodworking and an opportunity to help others by making 60 field desks. I worked with my local lumber company and they donated all the lumber, rope, glue, and varnish necessary to build 60 field desks. The clipboards were bought at a discount at the local stationery store. Some of the tools used are listed as optional because the desk could have been completed without them. We made 2 changes to the DNR plan. The first change was for carrying comfort. We added a spreader to the rope handle. The spreader keeps the rope from pressing your fingers together while carrying the desk. The second change was to make it easier for the kids to assemble the desk. Trying to keep 5 pieces together while driving in finishing nails would have been difficult. We used 1.5 inch number 8 wood screws instead of finishing nails. Jigs improve safety, ease of use, and repetitive accuracy. The handle spreader jig was used to drill a hole in each end of the spreader. 2 holes were drilled in the front panel using the front panel hole jig. The third jig was for marking the positions on the side panel where the screw holes needed to be drilled. The assembly jig made assembly very easy for young hands. This jig held all 5 pieces together until the screws were in place. Notice there's no pieces of the fixture that come together to form a corner. This way sawdust can be easily blown out, thus avoiding a buildup of sawdust which could mess up the assembly process. Due to the ages of the kids working on this project, an adult did all the cutting and routing. Safety equipment was removed for demonstration purposes. After all the necessary supplies had been gathered, the 2 sides, front and back panels, and the desk bottom were cut to the correct dimensions called out in the DNR plan using a table saw and router. The handle spreader jig was used to drill a 1/4 inch hole in each end of the handle spreader. A handle spreader was not called for in the DNR design, but I found this simple spreader makes it more comfortable to carry the desk. The front panel hole drilling jig made it safe and easy for the kids to drill 2 1/4 inch holes in the front panel. This also assured the handle holes were in the same location on each desk. Glue was applied to each of the pieces and spread out with a silicone brush before it was placed in the assembly jig. With the assembly jig holding everything in place, it was easy to drill and countersink 2 holes in each end of the side pieces. The drill we used drilled the hole and made the countersink all in one process. Using the assembly jig, assembly was easy. You can see the order pieces were put into the jig prior to drilling. The rope handle and spreader are easy to install. Tie a knot near one end of the rope. From the inside of the desk, push the unknotted end of the rope through the left-hand hole in the desk front. Put the end of the rope through the left-hand hole in the spreader. Go over the top of the spreader down through the right-hand hole. Push the end of the rope back into the right-hand hole of the front Tie a knot in the loose end of the rope and the install is complete. The only sanding done was to round over any sharp edges. An orbital sander made quick work of the sanding. On the bottom of each desk, the kids put their name and the month and year the desk was built. Two coats of an exterior varnish were applied to each desk. Here is the team that built 60 DNR field desks. The delivery team coordinated the delivery date and time with 2 Minnesota schools. At each school we delivered to, the kids came out to our vehicle to pick up their desks, which caused a lot of happy chatter. Both the teachers and students were happy with the school's new field desks. Each desk took approximately 1/2 hour per desk to make. If we had to buy all the supplies, it would have cost approximately $5 per desk in 2012. If you make the clipboards for the DNR's field desk, you get a much better product. The clipboards are easy to make, and it saves a significant amount of cost when you are making 30 to 60 field desks. I bought clipboard clips on the web, 5 32nd inch pop rivets with a 1/4 inch grip at my local hardware store, and 3 16th inch Lewin underlayment at my local lumber company to make clipboards. Total cost per clipboard was about 89 cents each in 2012. I modified the front panel drilling jig I used in making the desk by adding 2 removable stops. The stops were set to drill 3 16th inch holes spaced correctly for the clipboard clips I had. I also added an extension to the front of the jig to support the clipboard blanks while being drilled. After cutting 9-inch by 12.5-inch blanks from the Luan underlayment, I snugged the clipboard blanks up to the left side of the jig and drilled a 3 16th inch hole. Then I moved the blank to the other side of the jig and drilled the second hole. I marked how much round off I wanted on the clipboard corners and sanded down to the line. Rounding over the corners will prevent the clipboard from catching when moving in and out. With an orbital sander, I removed all sharp edges on each side of the clipboard. I used 5 32nd inch pop rivets with a 1/4 inch grip to secure the clipboard clip to the blank. Here is what the finished top and bottom of the clipboard should look like.